Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy VII walkthrough. I'm going to do a little Ultima Weapon guide, I guess, right here. I could have actually taken care of this a little bit earlier, but I actually wanted the W item materia before I took him on. Reason being is, excuse me, Ultima Weapon has, you can actually steal from him, and what you can steal is actually dependent on where he's currently at. So this is an example of an aerial battle. I'm going to show you the crummy thing, I guess, about Ultima Weapon. Now I don't remember if this only applies to the ground battles or if it's the aerial battles as well. But anyways, long story short here, in the aerial battles, Ultima Weapon, if you're just trying to use physical attacks against him, you need to have a long-ranged weapon, or you need to be equipped with the long-range materia. So you'll see here in a little bit, I am going to attempt to attack him, and it'll say something like "can't reach," and that's exactly why. You know, again, you're actually not able to attack him with physicals unless you've got that long-range, or again, a long-range weapon. There, it's got a few. Vincent, I believe all of his, Yuffie as well. Which is kind of funny because I don't think I had a single one of those characters with me. Yeah, I've got Cloud, Tifa, and Cid, and I don't think for this battle I had any of them equipped with the excuse me, the long-range materia, unfortunately. So I was not able to reach him. Now, Ultima Weapon has two different weapons, and again, it depends on where you're actually fighting him. Let me see here if I can find. The aerial battles, he'll have circlets, and the ground battles he will have reflect rings. So, if you want, you can steal from him in either of those locations and use the W item, you know, like essentially the duplication trick. If you want infinite circlets or infinite reflect rings. So completely up to you. Now this is essentially me doing the same battle over, so you can kind of ignore that first little bit of footage because I believe once you fight him here for the first time, I don't think he actually comes back to this spot. I could be wrong on that though. Actually, let me check this. Oh yeah, actually, you know, it kind of does look like you can fight him here again. So anyways, so my bad on that, but my impression with Ultima Weapon is, and if you notice there for the first fight, I only did a little bit of damage to him, and then he took off, and he's got something like, I want to say it's 10,000 health total. Sorry, not 10,000. It's at least 100,000. Yeah, it's 100,000. And basically, again, and I mentioned this a couple of times earlier on in the guide, but he essentially behaves like Zone Seek did if you've ever played Final Fantasy VI or I guess 3, for whatever way you want to say it. But anyways, again, he behaves kind of like Zone Seek in that you'll damage him a little bit and then he'll take off and fly away, and then you'll damage him a little bit and so on and so forth. Now, he's kind of interesting. Like I said, he's got 10,000 HP, but you can't just kill him wherever he just happens to be. The only time you can actually kill him is while he's flying over Cosmo Canyon, and he will go there if he's at 20,000 health or below. So essentially, you just knock him down, and then he'll finally fly over to Cosmo Canyon, and then you can finally defeat him there. And if you notice here, he kind of flies around like, I don't know, a crazy person, which can be a little bit annoying if you're actually just trying to fight him and get it done. Now, if you notice here, I don't have like the upgraded high wind. Again, my impression is that the high wind gets a little bit faster towards the end of the game. I guess I'm not 100% sure on that though. I feel like it flies faster, but I don't know that I've ever actually like sat down and tried it out. It just feels like it. And maybe that's because it gets like 3 gigantic rockets on the back, so I just assumed it gets faster. But anyways, so if you notice here, Ultima flies around and kind of flies around erratically. And what you want to do actually is if you're planning on fighting him kind of back to back, apparently one of the ways that you can kind of get him to stop flying around all crazy is by ramming him a couple of times. Now I don't know how many times you actually have to ram into him, but at that point he'll usually make a beeline for one of the possible locations that he can be found at. And so I'll actually just go over the different locations here. Excuse me. So the original fight with Ultima Weapon is obviously in Midil, and that one kind of doesn't really count. That's a battle completely separate, and it doesn't matter how much damage you do to him there. I mean, he's got a certain amount, and then he'll leave. But after that, once you find him in the Junon, like the crater area there, you know, he'll be there, and then once you fight him there, he'll take off and go to one of the other areas. Now, above Fort Condor is another area. He can also be found above Mount Nibel, above Midil, above North Coral, above Gungaga, and above the North Crater. And then actually he can be found above Midgar, which can cause a bit of a problem, because if he's ever there and you haven't done the raid on Midgar yet, he will, or you'll try to fly over to fight him, and it'll automatically trigger the Midgar raid. So that's actually kind of why I decided to wait to take him on now. And then the final area that you can fight him is at the Cosmo Canyon area. And that's where I guess that's where he finally can be defeated at. And again, that's if he's at 20,000 health or less. And then once he's actually, or once you take him out there, he'll crash and burn. And then you'll be able to, you'll actually have access to the Ancient Forest, even if you don't have a Chocobo. Now, I already went in there to the Ancient Forest, that is, and took care of all that stuff. But as far as you know, Ultima Weapon goes, it's kind of interesting that just kind of like how he works, I guess. Now, I'm not actually going to list out the different. Actually, no, I might as well. Let me see if I can find it here. I want to get the info on what battles are what, I guess, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is his ground battles versus aerial battles. I think that's kind of useful. It is if I can find it here, and I'm having some issues. Having some issues, as per usual. Obviously, the Junon fight is an aerial battle. And I think the Fort Condor... Ooh, actually, no, I don't know if the Fort Condor one is on the ground or not. Man, it's tough to find this guy. Oh, here he is. Okay. Huh, okay. Yeah, I'm having some issues finding the info here. Okay. That took me a little while to find. Alright, so the ground battles are Gungaga, Fort Condor, Midgar, and the North Crater. And then the aerial battles are Junon, Midil, Mount Nibel, North Coral, and Cosmo Canyon. So, there you have it. Four possible ground battles and 5 possible aerial battles. So, you know, if I was going to say if you only wanted to fight one or the other, I wouldn't count on that. Unfortunately, it's random where he decides to go. And then on top of that, I mean, I don't know, to be honest, you probably have decent magic at this point, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue to try to get a hold of him, you know, in a decent area. So now again, I don't know, as far as his steals, circlets can be obtained in other ways, so you know, I wouldn't worry about those. Reflect rings, on the other hand, I think are a little more difficult to come by. And actually, I don't remember how many there are actually available in the entire game. So what I did was I set myself up for Oh boy, and then I forgot which one it was. I think it's the aerial battle where you can get the... I need to check again. I'm so rusty when it comes to this. Oh, I'm sorry, I had it backwards. Reflect Ring is the ground battle, apparently. Yeah, and circle it for the aerial battle. Okay. So, again, what I actually did here was I kind of flew around, and if you notice, it feels like I'm going kind of... There he is! Okay, so I spotted him. And now, if you notice here, the high wind has... What happened there? The high wind's got the rockets on it, so if you probably noticed the difference. But it does, I don't know, it feels faster. Again, I don't know if that's 100% the case, but I feel like this thing flies way faster. Anyways, so at this point, I'm actually technically, or this footage, sorry, that I spliced in, is technically disc 3. So this is after the Midgar raid. And then here, this is where I finally got a good couple of rams in on him. And so hopefully that's going to prompt him. And it does. It seems like he's flying straight. So, again, after, basically, like I said, you just ram him a couple of times and then he'll start flying to, he'll kind of make a beeline for wherever he's going to go next. Now, I wanted to follow, but not too far there. Oh, there you go. What? Oh, and then I went through him. Alright, yeah, it's a good idea to stop and actually save right here. And get set up. So this one is this is above, where are we actually at here? Is this Coral? North Coral, I think? Yeah. I think that's right. So I'm not sure if this ends up being a ground battle or an aerial. Again, and I just listed them all off and completely forgot what I said, so my bad. This looks like a ground battle though. Yeah. So, again, you should be able to... what? No! Can't reach! Ugh. Okay. So, hang on. Oh, yeah, I want to look again. Just the worst. Alright, aerial battle. North Coral. It is an aerial battle. God darn it. Okay. So, yeah, my bad. I felt like it was going to be a ground battle because we weren't on the side of the ship, or the airship. So my bad on that. And then I don't know why I ended up summoning Knights of the Round here. So, like I said earlier, though, he's got 10,000 HP, but honestly, you can't kill him here. Yeah, he actually has to fly over to Cosmo Canyon first. So, that's why this is going to probably look a little goofy, too. I don't know, what's Knights of the Round? 13 hits? I think that's what it ends up being. And so I did a ton of damage here, but unfortunately we're not able to finish him off here, but that's okay. We get a lovely scene here with the Knights. I think this was actually the first time I cast it too. I had actually obtained Knights of the Round much earlier on, and essentially right when chocobos are able to be bred, and I actually just didn't want to cast it for whatever reason. I suppose mostly because it takes like 5 minutes. But all right, so at this point he should fly away. Yep, he's definitely dropped below 20,000 health. And so at this point he'll just fly to the north of Cosmo Canyon, and then we'll fight him there for the final time. Actually, it'll end up being 0 EXP and 0 AP. Weak sauce. Alright, so I ended up cutting out the footage of him flying over to Cosmo Canyon, but this is where he's at, really close to the ancient forest, obviously, because we're gonna make him crash and burn. And he'll make us a nice little ramp when he does so. So he's definitely a good guy. He's one of the good guys. He's helping us out. Alright, so anyways, let's... Oh, steal. Oh, nothing to steal. What? Okay, well, apparently once he's actually over the top of Cosmo Canyon, he doesn't have items to steal anymore. I guess I didn't know that. Fun stuff. I think at this point I was considering whether or not to restart my game. I was like, wait, what? Oh well. So, yeah, so anyways, like I was saying earlier, I actually did end up duplicating reflect rings. I think I ended up duplicating 99, and so I would have had to do that in, what would that have been, an aerial battle, did I say earlier? Or a ground, no, I think it was a ground battle. Oh God, I'm just the worst. It's so hard to keep these different battles straight. Yes, ground battle. Reflect ring for ground battles. Okay, jeez. Just the worst. Alright, anyways. If you notice there, I actually equipped all 4 of my enemy skill materials on Cloud. And learned Shadow Flare. Whoever deals the death blow to Ultima Weapon, he will cast Shadow Flare on. To be honest, unless it's only that person remaining, you don't really have to worry about it that much. You know, so just take the hit and learn your enemy skill and die, and that's fine. The Shadow Flare here, it's not the only place in the game to learn Shadow Flare. I just figured, hey, we're here. I might as well learn it now. So that's what I did. And anyways, so we get the Ultima Weapon. That is Cloud's ultimate weapon, as the name would imply. So here you'll see, yep, 8 slots. Everything's connected. Unfortunately, though, no materia growth, much like all the rest of the epic weapons in the game. But at this point, as long as you've got the Omni Slash for Cloud, you can actually participate in the Battle Square secret duel, and I'm gonna have a guide for that as well, so stay tuned. But as always, I'm out of time, so I hope this guide was helpful and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.